Hey everybody, it's your girl Angie. Welcome back to Kiss My Cheeks TV. Let's jump right into Ready to Love. This is episode 3. I didn't take notes, so bear with me. I watched it. It was a great episode. Yesterday, you all know, they finally ended the voting counts and they declared President Joe Biden the elected president of 2020. I was so excited. I celebrated. I wasn't out in the street with the young folks, but I got on social media and I post my celebrations there, and then I was just watching CNN and I just was just full of happiness yesterday. I still am kind of full of it today. I'm a happy person, but I just was so excited. And then around 7 o'clock, I got to, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris gave their victory speeches. And I had poured me a little bit of Crown Apple and a little splash of Sprite. And I got a little bit extra happy. And I just was like, I'm not making any more videos. And so I just didn't feel like doing Ready to Love yesterday. I just was in a totally, completely different mind space. So your girl is here today. This morning, I woke up. I sell paparazzi jewelry now. Look out for my bling table talk videos where I upload some of my inventory. But that's not this video. I just didn't feel like rewatching it to take notes. I kind of know the key things I want to talk about. So let's make it short, quick, sweet, and get in the comments and let's have a good discussion, because I love when we talk about the episodes together in the comments. So we already saw Sam and old girl Danny went home last week. I didn't care about Sam. I'm sad that Danny didn't get an opportunity to find love. But the more and more I watch this, the more and more I see these people, nobody here is for love. I would say a small percentage of these people are here for love. They're here to make good television, and I'm here for it. I'm here to be entertained. I do root for you all through my television screen. I want everyone to find love, but I'm also here to be entertained as well. So let's just jump right into it. The first thing I remember is Simone was in her feelings a little bit because she was in the bottom. I think she realized I'm lawyering these people too much. Interrogating them, asking them too many gold digger-ish questions. No one cares. You first meet somebody, got a passport. I mean, you could have a nice gauge would have been like, so what do you do for a living? I'm an attorney. And a lot of y'all got these made up titles or titles I don't understand. So I don't know. Just try to get to know the person first. Just get to know them. I'm sure OWN ain't brought on a whole bunch of broke people. You know they got some big spenders on the show. Come on now, girl. Just get to know people. This episode, she was invited to a group date. I do appreciate that Simone opened up about dating the same man that was like her father. Someone who, no matter how good she is, they can find that one little thing to be like, but you ain't do this. Like, what did he say? You forgot a comma. I would have been like, I would have cursed. I would have cursed his ass out. But I can understand. I don't really understand that because I don't have that kind of relationship with my father. It's always been a great relationship. He's always encouraged me and supported me. So I don't know what it's like to have to take my father to counseling so I could date the right kind of man. But I appreciate her sharing her story, because not everyone's story is going to be like mine. Not everyone's story is going to be like hers. But that's the whole part of entertaining us on television, is getting to know you and getting to know your story. So I appreciate Simone opening up. I hope she can be more vulnerable and more open to the process, and don't just be looking for the passports, girl, because I kind of like Simone. I'm happy she stayed. Episode 1, I would have rather Danny stay, but I'm happy Simone stayed now that she's loosening up. So what's another thing? Who are some of the key characters? Now, this episode, 2 guys have to go home. So who was the other guy in the bottom? Raymond is a little bit in his feelings that he was in the bottom. But Raymond, last week, all you did was name drop Tank and Genuine. I got something to say at the end, and then you have those 5 kids that I said in the casting video, I don't know anybody that wants to be bothered, especially if they all little kids. I could see if they were all grown. But I got something to say about that because it's a double standard. I saw a lot of hypocritical things happening this episode. Now, one of the key people we saw couple up was Naya and KG Smooth, Chris. He is a flashy man. She calls him swaggy. He is a very flashy man. I could see it in all of his wardrobe. I'm not mad at it. I've dated men who were very swaggy and flashy, and it's hard because I feel like I'm like that. Not with the labels. Your girl, I ain't got all the labels, but in my regular attire, I like to kind of be a tad bit like, what can I put on to make it just a little bit over the top? So it's hard when you're that type of woman to date a man that's like that, because I personally don't like a man who takes longer than me to get dressed. Like, no. But this ain't got nothing to do with you, Angie. This got to do about KG Smooth and Naya. I like that they look to be the first couple we see that's linking up, that I can see trying to be a couple throughout this entire process. I like them together. They had a great conversation about KG Smooth wants kids and Naya really wants kids, so that's great, but I don't feel like that's a reason for Naya and Chris to stop looking at everyone in the process. It kind of looks like they locked eyes and say, we're going to ride this out with each other. It's something that's not genuine about that connection to me. And this is just me from the TV screen. Like, I be telling some of y'all get upset if I say something negative about y'all favorite couple. And I don't mean to. I'm just telling you what Angie feels through the screen. Number one, KG, I totally believe he seems like he has that energy and aura of someone who's all into the earth and the planets and one with the water. And he looks like somebody who would lay in the dirt and be one with the earth. You know, all that bullshit they was talking about last week. It wasn't right to call that bullshit, Angie. That wasn't right. I don't understand. I'm not that free. And like, I'm a little bit bohemian, but not that much. So what I feel about Naya is I don't feel like she's like that at all. Like, just the way they talk to each other, to me, Naya seems very spiritual, religious, one with God, but she doesn't seem like someone who's, oh, I'm one with the water and I'm one with, like, I feel like she's going down that same path of conversation to click with KG. It just feels fake to me because it feels like I like them together, but I just want her to be more real. I don't feel like she's all that into the earth. I don't get that same energy from her. It's 2 different energies. It's one thing to be one with the earth, with the water, and then it's one thing to just be like, I love God and I love what God has created. But it's 2 different energies, and I feel I can see, that's just what I see. But let's get off of that. I don't want them to get into that we both want kids, so let's just click up. It kind of seems like just a click up to stay on the show. But how I wish people, you see how they did old girl Adriana. Oh, you clicking up with these 2? Oh, those 2 have to go. You'll mess up and get clicked up with somebody, and the men will be like, well, Naya only here for KG, so let's get rid of Naya. She ain't trying to date. You know, you can click up too soon and be at home. You got to move around. Move around and see if you gel with more than one person. That's the whole point of the show. This point of the show is not to click up and try to ride it out to the end. You really are supposed to date around and see who you really are vibing with. So, I don't know, it ain't supposed to entertain me. So that was Nia and KG. Okay. We saw a little bit more of Denise and Calfani. I like Denise and Calfani. I feel like Denise would probably be the best for Calfani because I 100% believe Calfani is a gym rat and he's into his macros. He's into that protein and all of that. And I feel like Denise, the way Denise's body is banging. Denise probably has one of the best toned bodies on the show. I feel like she probably, as a coach, is into that same thing, into the working out, into the gym, to where it wouldn't clash. They wouldn't clash because it seems like that's a very heavy part of his lifestyle. And they both have that fitness lifestyle. Not saying that's all you need to gel with somebody, but I like Denise and Calfani, but I can already see it doesn't even take a crystal ball for us to see Calfani is going to move around. Calfani is going to move around. He's going to play around. Every woman in there is eyeing Calfani. Hell, I'm eyeing his ass from the house. Calfani is fine. It is what it is. It is what it is. Everyone was like, yeah, he might not be my main, but I wouldn't mind a little side piece to Calfani. So Denise, that jealousy spirit that I already see in you, that whole he my man, what you talking to, you Denise, you need to move around. Don't clinch into Calfani because every woman in there is going to be trying to get him, and you don't seem like the type who want to share. So until you get down to that last final bit and it's really time to pick a couple, you need to move around because I promise you, Calfani is going to be moving around. You sat in that little circle with Tommy and heard every woman in there say Calfani on the top of their list too. So, but I like Calfani and Denise. I can tell you right now, the two ladies because next week, two ladies got to go home. I can promise you that damn chef lady, I don't know her name for shit, but she gonna be one of the ones who go home because who was she linked with in that Alex girl? Like if Alex can't link up with Brian, who is also celibate, I don't see, ain't nobody else in there trying to be celibate. So y'all two need to link up, but we already know a lot of people got their eyes on Brian. Let's talk about some of the things that got the three guys in the bottom three. The first guy in the bottom three is, what's his name? Raymond, with the 5 kids. Every episode, like today, who walked away from him this week? Somebody else walked away from him this week when he was like, yeah, I got the 5 kids. And they was like, oh, you got 5 kids. And he was like, yeah, I was a musician. And it was like, oh, doop, 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 I'm out. Like maybe if you see that's a turnoff for older women, maybe don't lead with that. Like, are the producers telling you to tell everybody you got 5 kids? Like, yeah, you're not ashamed of it, but you lead with it. You lead with it. Yeah, I got 5 kids and I was a musician. I used to be a hoe with Tank. What you want to do? Like, every woman is going to give you their back and walk away. Lead with something else. Like, maybe just talk about your love of music and that, you know, I don't know. Like, if you see it's a turnoff, try something else. That's all I can say with Raymond. But Raymond, I thought somebody, I don't know. But Raymond was also at that group date, and Simone told him he was not stingy with his dick. She said it some kind of way like that, and everyone was like, oh, but sometimes the truth is what it is. What she said was true. It was kind of, Simone is one of those people who is blatant, straight to the point. She don't put no sugar on it. She gonna tell you exactly what it is. And that's the lawyer in her. Like, she can't cut corners. She has to state facts. This the fact. It is what it is, Your Honor. You know, that Simone is a mess. Now, at that same lunch, I don't remember what Joy and David were talking about. And you know I want David to find love. He kind of turned me off a little bit, but I'm going to talk about the double standards in a second. David did something to Joy and was like, look, you did, and put his finger in her face. It wasn't aggressive. It seems like it might not have been that big of a deal because I'm a hands talker. I talk with my hands all the time, and it ain't like I'm trying to throw hands. I just talk with my hands, and some people don't like that. Some people can think that's aggressive, especially if you right here in their face with your hands. I feel like if maybe he was across the table or down a little bit and he was talking with his hands, it would not have came off as bad. But yes, you are a man putting your finger in a woman's face. That was a turnoff probably for every woman that was sitting at the table. And then you also had a private conversation with Alicia. Let's talk about this conversation. In this conversation with Alicia, you're talking about you want to be the man of the house. I'm the man of the house, this, and this. Now, I think I said this before. In 2020, most households are 50-50. And by that, I'm saying most households, majority of households, damn near every household I know, the man works and the woman works. Y'all both putting in on this mortgage. Y'all both putting in on these bills. Y'all both putting in on this car insurance. You know, it's not, we aren't in the days of where households are ran 100% by one income, and it's the man's income, and he's the man of the house. I pay all the bills, so you cook all the food, you take care of all them kids. You know, we just aren't in that. We just aren't in that, and we're now where you see a lot of families where you compromise, where it's not just the man's decision. Like, hell, I'm paying half of this mortgage too. This shit, I got something to say too. You know, and a lot of marriages now are blended families where women have had to be single moms. You see Rashid, I don't know if he's a single dad, but some men are single dads where there's a lot of independence and they're coming together and they're blending. So there has to be a lot of compromise. So when you walk around bigfooting, I'm going to be the man of the house. And Alicia was like, well, hell, you're going to be the man of the house. You must going to pay all the bills. Hey. That was a fair question that Alicia asked. And he was like, well, I don't know. You got 2 kids. I don't know if I'm pay all the bills. The way he said it was very stank. The way he said it was like, bitch, I ain't taking care of your 2 kids. Like, I help take care of you, but you and whoever your baby daddies are got to take care of them kids. That's the way it came off, in the way he looked at her when he said it, his whole vibe when he said it. To me, and there's nothing wrong with it. David is the type of man who probably wants to meet a woman who doesn't have any kids, and he wants to have kids with a woman and it be their family. He probably ain't looking to co-parent with you and your ex-husband or you and your baby daddy. Like, he ain't looking to compromise and send some kids away for the weekend and our kids here all the time. Like, he's probably looking to be with someone where he can start a family and it be his family. He's probably not looking to blend. He should have said that. It was a way he could have said that to Alicia that could have been respectful, because at the end of the day, this is the one time I'm going to take up for Raymond as all of y'all women. That's the reason why you don't want to be with Raymond and his 5 kids, is because you don't want the responsibility of helping take care of somebody and they 5 kids. You ain't trying to deal with all them baby mamas because you don't know how many baby mamas it is. Is it 1? Is it 2, 3, 4, or 5? You know, that's the same reason you all are walking away from Raymond, which you are entitled to. You don't have to want to be with somebody that have 5 kids, and David doesn't have to want to be with a woman that has 2. He could have just expressed that differently. I don't know why that was a turnoff for all the women who ain't have no kids. Like, why are you offended by that? You ain't got no kids to be offended by that statement. Me, as someone who was dating with a child, that would have offended me. Like, I've been like, bitch, I ain't ask you to take care of my kids, but you want to be the man of the house. So, like, Alicia ain't cussed his ass out, but I understood why David had to go home. And I was so sad. I was so sad. Now, the third person in the bottom 3 was Rashid was walking around talking about buying pajamas from Nordstrom's, being, just, I don't know if he was putting 20 on 10, but he was flaunting his money. Like, bitch, I ain't got to go to Walmart. I can get some Nordstrom real silk pajamas, not that polyester shit. And he was kind of, and I don't really feel bad. I have completely changed my mind about Rashid from the casting video. I don't feel bad, especially from Winter, Simone. I don't understand. Y'all was the bitches. Angie, don't call people bitches. That ain't nice. I apologize. Y'all were the women. Winter, you didn't even look at Anthony until he took his shirt off. And you was like, oh, he was working with all that? Like, you the one who looking at everybody's bodies. Alicia, you the one who turned on by tall, dark, and a beard. Like, you all are being very superficial. He's giving you the superficial shit. Simone, I really don't understand, because you was the one walking around. I ain't trying to take nobody to the bank. He got to have his own bank account, and he got to have a passport. What you do for a living. Like, you was the one who was gold digging. He was showing you the gold. Clink, clink. Some of y'all should have clamped on. All he was doing was showing y'all the gold, which some of y'all were asking for. So I don't understand why y'all were so offended. But y'all let Rashid stay. I think y'all let Rashid stay for Adriana. Raymond went home and David went home. Raymond had to go home. Everyone was kind of turned off by the musician 5 kids thing. And David, you just put your foot in it this week with the finger in the face and I don't want to take care of your kids comment to Alicia. Now, one more thing I want to talk about really quick that kind of bothered me is I didn't see a lot of confident women this season. Like, we had a resort. Y'all going to a resort. Everybody looked like they got hairstyles that can't get wet. Why the fuck y'all wear that hair to a resort? Why you do it? Half of y'all should have had on braids. Half of y'all should have had y'all wigs sewn down with some of that Brazilian curly hair that y'all can get wet and it spring right back up. Why would you come to the resort with hairstyles that can't get wet? Hell, Joy, I don't know if that's real or not, but that looked like wet and curly hair. Jump in the pool. Ain't nobody jump in the pool. All of y'all was hot and bothered like, oh, we want to see y'all do a push-up contest. Take y'all shirts off. All of y'all was doing that. All the men ain't had no problem taking their shirts off. It is what it is. Push-ups. How many you want us to do? Get your ass on my back. Let's do the push-ups. So after the men did the push-ups, they in turn said, okay, well, y'all got on all these cover-ups. What the fuck going on? Let me see what y'all working with. I didn't see no problem with that comment. Now, it was only like 2 people that got offended, and that was Denise. Denise, you got one of the most banging bodies out there. Whatever you had on, you should have pulled off and showed it off. The only one who was confident was Winter. And Winter said, I don't give a fuck about none of this cellulite, none of this extra jiggle. My ass look good and I'm here to get a man. And she pulled her shit off and she strolled out there in her bikini. I didn't see anybody else in a swimsuit. Half of y'all came to the pool party with clothes on. Not even a swimsuit, but clothes. Not even a cover up, but clothes. And I'm like, what kind of pool party is this? Y'all knew y'all was going to be on TV. Y'all knew y'all was coming to a resort. Y'all should have been bikini body ready. I know if this girl, I don't give a fuck what size I am. I'm always around the size 22, 24. My ass is putting my 2-piece on and I'm strutting up and down the beach. I would have been the first one in the pool. I would have went to the resorts, one with my hair braided, or I would have kept it natural. So I'm a water person. I guess, Angie, are you talking because you're a water person? I'm a water person. I love anything that has to do with a pool, a beach, a lake. I want to get in the water. I want to jet ski. I want to do that kayaking stuff that Naya and KG did. I'm definitely down for the pool party. Like when everybody jumped in the pool, it was a pool full of men. None of the women got in the pool. I wasn't getting it. That didn't entertain me. But that's the last thing I'm going to say because we got a whole bunch more episodes to go. Maybe the women will loosen up. And like to me, I would have been the only one with a man after the pool party because Angie would have been in the pool. All the men were in the pool. I would have been in there right with them. Who gives a fuck your hair get wet? Get out, wash it, and style it back up. Anyway, that was Ready to Love. episode 3. Let me know what you all think. Get in the comments. Like this video. Share it wherever you all would like to share the video. And I will see you all next week. Episode 4. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.